Hey everybody, and welcome to the Justcallitpodcast, the best podcast in the world. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and you guys are enjoying yourselves and, kicking it. It's been a while since I made a video podcast, so I wanted to kind of do something cool and actually do this with this Threadbeast thing and kind of see how it goes down. So, cheers to everybody, and I hope everyone's been doing good, man, because life is certainly sometimes a struggle and it's also sometimes a glory. So we got to be able to enjoy both of those things at the same time. Because if you can't, you certainly are going to struggle doing one better than the other. What's new in the world, man? I signed up for Threadbeast. Yep, I signed up for Threadbeast. I'm trying to be a beast in my threads. I'm telling you guys that as a simple fact because I simply don't have any good threads. I'm about to be 34 years old. I got my podcast. I'm not very, famous or something like that. I'm just a normal ass dude. So, I don't know, maybe some new clothes would make me feel a little bit better about myself. So I filled out the little thing about myself to, get them to send me some clothes. I went kind of basic. I'm not that, I'm not super rich, so I'm definitely not going to buy the best fucking value unless they give me some badass clothes. You know what I'm saying? So today is brought to you by Threadbeast. Not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor of this podcast, but it'd be cool if they were. Or, get you guys to try some shit out, So you guys don't look janky hanging out with your wife or your girlfriend, or even when you're trying to go out to the bar, go hang out with a chick, go talk to somebody you like. Whether you're gay or lesbian, transsexual, whatever, you gotta look good, you gotta play the part. Because at the end of the day, when they turn on the lights at the club, you don't want to look like a donkey. You don't want to look like, Tales of the Crypt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to look like, a zombie. Right? You don't want to look all weird, man. You want to look decent to the point where, people are going to fucking trust you and be like, hey, man, that guy looks good. He got a little good look on him. I want to talk to him, And it might just take just you looking good enough to be approached, and you don't have to do anything. But that's just my suggestion, because I got a wife, and I want to look good for her, man. I don't want to just be looking janky like I do now. I got sweats on, got a sweater on, I got my Yeezys on. They don't, I got a little socks coming up, so it kind of makes me look a little bit like a ninja. I don't really look that cool, but I really don't care at the same time. So, but so Threadbeast is just Threadbeast. I'm just doing it because the ad got me. All right, the ad got me. You fucking flipping through Facebook, and all of a sudden you see some other douchebag got a Threadbeast box, and he got a good-looking camera and all that shit. So, let's see what they open for me. All right. So, Threadbeast, curated with love in California, established 2015. Hashtag Threadbeast. All right. Looking around the box, I like looking at boxes. So let's judge the packaging. Black and white. Just go cheap. Black's not cheap though for getting a box. If you ever get your own custom box, black's not the cheapest color. All right. It's black and white, pretty cool. I love the thing contains one less trip to the mall, because it's true. I don't really like fucking going out shopping. Kind of annoying, and if I do, I usually go to Target, so then I'm left with Target clothes, and then my clothes look like, the clothes that your mom bought you because she thought about you at the store, right? All right, so let's open up a little scannable code there. I don't know what that is. We'll scan that later. All right, gotta open the packaging. So far, pretty cool. Well, open the packaging here. You see little tissue paper, so it's kind of cool. You want to look fancy. Like a gift, they got some stickers. A little looks like a handmade letter. It says, "Hi William, welcome to Threadbeast fam. Since this is your first box, it's super important that you receive your feedback so we can get to know your style better. Leave feedback online portal or send us an email or MS one time." anytime. Your stylist team. All right, that's pretty nice of them. They gave me a little letter. It's kind of cool. All right, let's see. Read some instructions. Threadbeast package number 1. Congratulations on becoming an exclusive Threadbeast member. This box serves as your first style grade. These pieces include are meant to be mixed and matched with that you are currently owning in your closet. Don't forget to log in and keep your style profile up to date. Edit above. New members start here. Enter your firm and follow instructions. All right, bam. Thank you. Cool. Little sticker. Not bad. All right, let's open up the first thing that I see here. Bam. Pair of diamond pants. These look like the type of pants, you know, you relax on a Sunday. You know, summertime's coming up, so I want to look pretty good going down on vacation. But not bad. Not gonna lie. This is something I would definitely rock. They look a little too short. That's not really my style, so I definitely might not keep these, but I will try them on. It's not bad though. I like the little pocket in the back for the wallet, so it gives it that modern look. Everyday pants that you want to take to go out. I love the Ziploc shorts. I love the material. It doesn't feel like too like it's just gonna take the form of my penis. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna look, you know, pretty decent and fluffy, and it's gonna look pretty nice. These are not bad. You know, these are not bad. I give these you know, rating my style that I filled in and all that stuff. I do like the brand Diamond. I did choose that I like stuff from Zoomies and stuff like that. I'm a Zoomies type of guy. I've been skateboarding as a kid for almost like 12 freaking years. Punk kid, punk music, metal music. That was just kind of my upbringing. What do you call that? Mohawk down the center of my head. That was me back in the day, all right? Don't have a picture of that, unfortunately, because I just didn't like fucking taking pictures. Still don't. So yeah, a little cool. Upside down P, I like that. You know, P for positivity, and P for mind your own business. Yeah. So pretty cool. I'll give this brace 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 because number one, I'm not a big fan of shorts, right? Like I like shorts, but I don't wear the shorts a lot. So it's just things I wear to go to sleep. So it's kind of a waste of money. So this is okay. I like it. All right. And then I see here a nice little shirt. So before I get into it, the thing about Zoomies is I like shirts that kind of have like a cool funky meaning to them. They got little quotes in the back of them and shit like that. So if this shit says something stupid on it, I'm not gonna fucking like it. All right. So this is called Your Highness. Yep. I knew it. It's not a bad shirt, but it's kind of stupid, right? I like it. I like the material. It's a thick shirt. I like thick shirts. Built to last. So if you can, you know, you need to work in them. You need to just feel good. So this is not bad. I like its decent style, but I'll rate this maybe an 8 out of 10 because I might keep this. It's not bad. The saying in the front's kind of cool, but it's a little not to my style. All right. Boom. I see some slides here. With slides, I own a lot of those. And these slides don't look too great because they got the little plastic, you know, the little plastic. So, you know, you can slide around a lot. They don't really stick it, but they do look really cool. So I might keep these, but I guess my style, as it hits my style, is pretty much dead on. But is it something that I'm gonna wear for a lot? Kind of. It's a little too lazy for me. It's a little too lazy for me. This is something I might just wear around the house and probably take these out once for a vacation and never wear them again. So it's not something that I keep. Do like the brand, the hundreds. Do like the style and all that stuff. So not bad. So they didn't hit too bad. I gotta upgrade that shit. It's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, man. It is pretty nice package. You know, I might not keep everything, but it's a pretty nice package. I don't know how to return everything back. Definitely don't want to keep everything. I don't know how that works, so I gotta find out. But anyways, back to the podcast. That was really cool. Thank you, Threadbeast, for doing that. Put this back here. Yeah, so nice box, next time you gotta give me some jeans, maybe throw a pair of Nikes in there or some shit like that. Maybe I gotta pay more. Like, what do I gotta do? Come on, look it up, man. Come on, come on, come on. Not bad though, not bad clothes. I like them. Definitely my kind of style. Just kind of same kind of lazy dude. Lazy dudes wear lazy stuff. Things that are soft, things that don't make you feel too tight. Like you gotta move around. Things that allow you to sit down, that your butt feels good laying down on the surface that you're sitting on. And yeah. In other news, things been going good in my life somewhat. Just going about my business. Life is what it is. I think everybody, you plan, summertime's here, so everyone's planning a bunch of stuff. And, sometimes, I never used to plan things in the summertime early on. Like, go do a bunch of trips, go camping, go do a bunch of things early. I usually was kind of like on the tail end of summer, like August, September type of guy. And, it does make you think kind of like, man, like, you plan something coming up and then you do it and it's done. I went to Yosemite. That was hella fun with my homeboy Justin, J Dog. Big shout out. That was really cool, man. Getting to drink with a buddy, barbecue, little fire and shit like that, and then scared of bears coming out. Worried that they're coming out, but realize it's just your friend snoring in the tent next to you. Just like, holy shit, that guy sounds like a bear. Supposedly bears are like silent when walking through the forest because their paws allow them to be super silent, even though they probably weigh like 400, 500 pounds. A bear, black bear. Interesting. Didn't see any bears. Didn't really see a lot of wildlife at all. Out there in Yosemite. I think because of all the people, like nothing is going to be walking around there. Yosemite is beautiful, man. If you've never been to Yosemite, California, go see, Yosemite National Park. Like, you gotta go. It's one of the most beautifulest things to see in the whole fucking world. People from all over the world go there to visit, not only just to visit, but to stay in the night, to stay in the lodge, to go to Curry Village, to see the scenery. It's quite amazing. You can't see everything in the day for sure, but the drive up there is awesome. It's just, being able to stop at, I think it's called the Iron Gates or something like that. It's like one of the oldest bar ever to exist in California. And the gates there are made out of iron. They're huge. They're like, 15 feet tall, 2 doors, and the whole building is made out of brick. So the building was made in the early 1800s and stuff like that. It was like a saloon for many, many years. A lot of people who obviously went there for the gold rush were there. It was a small town, obviously, by the mountains and stuff like that, coming in. Travelers and all that type of stuff. Sightseeing and all that. It's one of the oldest bars. And the gates there was sold to them, but the gates weren't made in the United States. They were made all the way in like France or in England somewhere. So they shipped these huge iron doors. These doors must have weighed at least, like one of them probably weighed at least 2 tons or more. And then they brought them in order to, if the town catched on fire for some reason, which I guess was common back in the day, just towns catching on fire for no reason, or it's just some dumbass cooking or just putting out a cigarette, thinking like, oh yeah, it's a good place to put this cigarette right on this dry leaves, because there's like no such thing as like garbage disposal, like garbage cans or anything, like just fucking garbage everywhere. Like, who knows how people were keeping their garbage back then? They were burning it or some shit. Like, you think about that? Like, I know for a fact in Mexico that they were burning their garbage back then, and that's how they were getting rid of it. But now, I'm talking about in California in the 1700s, like, how are they getting rid of their garbage? Like, what the fuck were they doing? Were they burning it? Like, what were they doing? I don't even know. But anyways, you know, the doors there, they were sent there to California in order to that bar in California in order as like some insurance to tell them like, hey, like you close you guys yourself up in these iron gates and you stay in your brick building and you guys will not get burned. So I guess that was kind of like some smart architecture, like, oh dang, like man, you know, in case there's a big ass fire in this building, you can just stay here inside the building. Like, that's like, no, you know, just run, you know, just get the hell out of there, you know, get a horse, you know, freaking ride a horse a mile away or some shit like that. I don't know, but it's pretty cool going down to Yosemite. You know, being able to see the beautiful, just kind of like this, the rocks and just like everything, you know, the history, and you just think about it. And then also, you know, recently got a cat. That's pretty interesting. You know, I never owned a fucking animal my whole life. You know, I never had a house pet ever in my whole life. I think the only thing I had close to a pet was like a pet lizard that probably died, you know, after 6 months. A chameleon. You know, I just didn't tell my mom to buy the crickets. You know, I think I tried to feed them all of them at once. The crickets, some of them died just naturally because the guy just overate. Fucking, you know, and he just died. Like, it was crazy because the chameleon just stayed in this one spot, and that's just what they do. They just sit in the tree for like hours. You know, they just don't really move. You know, and this fucking thing is just changing colors. And I bought him this blue water bowl that he would drink water in, and like he just kind of like was sitting in the same spot for like 3 days. And he was alive for at least the first two, I guess, but his first of his body turned completely blue, like it was matching the bowl, but then everything else was green because it was matching the ground. So it was hella awesome. It almost looked like a, you know, like a popsicle, like blue and green, like, you know, I don't know, but damn, you know, that was the only thing I've ever owned, and now I got a king. You know, things only, I think it's only like 3 months, you know, which I guess, you know, I was looking up online the equivalent of what is like, you know, dog years, right? So I guess it's like 7 years for a dog, right, every year. But for a cat, like 1 year is 15 years. So I was like, holy shit. So 1 year is 15 years. The cat that I got is probably like 3 months old. So that means it's probably like what? I don't know, like 2-3 years old. I mean, it's crazy. So like every month that goes by, the guy grows like 2 years old. So I'm interested to see how smart he is. I've had him for about, his name is Prince. I had him for about, like, I don't even know, like 4 days or some shit like that. And it's like, it's a lot of responsibility, man, to hold on to a cat. I know you're not supposed to, like, they don't, you know, they're like low maintenance or something, but a kitten is like, you know, they always look for you. So I'm like looking online, trying to find out like, well, what do cats like, you know, like they call them Velcro cats that like just won't leave you alone. Velcro kittens, or like, you know, the guy doesn't, you know, sometimes cats will like won't eat, you know, or you know, we're trying to keep it in the bathroom for the first couple of days to get it used in the house. But there just jumps everywhere, you know, and just wants to jump on top of me, wants to get on top of my head, you know, thinks it's like an awesome place to hang out. It's crazy, you know, it's like this animal just like learning how to be with you in your house, you know, and because I've shown it so much love, like, you know, I just love picking it up and just putting it on my lap and just petting it and hearing it purr and all that shit, and it's just meowing and it just looks at me and just like this cute ass little kitten, and it just makes me think like this thing grows attachment towards you and you're supposed to give it like restrictions, you know, and it's just kind of like the opposite of what you would think taking care of an animal is like you would be like, oh, if I give it love and whatever and food, like it should be fine. But like, no, like a cat, like you gotta make sure you give it the right diet. You can't change its diet even by a little bit, because the fucking guy knows, and like he just like won't eat that food because he's like, oh, you gave me chicken like for the first time, I'm like going to heaven eating this chicken. Like, I don't want to eat cat food anymore. I don't want to eat wet or dry food. The cat just like or sometimes they'll go through strikes. So it's like crazy. I'm learning about all these things about how to take care of a cat. Because me and my wife are thinking about having kids and stuff like that. So it's crazy thinking about all this stuff and like all these temperamental things. Like you think that wouldn't even matter, but they do matter. So you have to be very wise sometimes, like every time how you interact and like how to put boundaries and stuff like that. So you know, I think it really applies to everything, that you can't just like kind of go mindless around things. Like you can't never look back at instructions or look at a YouTube video as to why that is. It's always good to go back and research why you can't do something, or get some just a quick search. Will help you get out of some dumbass situations. Just look. Oh, my cat scratched me. Can I get cat scratch fever? Like, oh, you need to clean the wound, and like all these things you need to think about if it affects women pregnancy and stuff like that. If it affects people, like what do you do if your cat does this? Like it's when you're not when the cat comes into your house, it's a whole new world. But when you never owned a cat and it comes into your house, like you still have to respect the fact that you have an animal and you committed to taking care of it. So you can't just be like, well, whatever, it fucking died. Like, it's not a chameleon, like it's not a fucking lizard, it's not a fish, what I'm saying? Like, where people won't find out, it's a fucking animal that is a cat, it's respected, and you gotta, pick up your pants and like strap your boots and fucking take care of that thing, just like as anybody would when they have a kid or they want a dog or whatever, right? So, yeah. I hope you guys like the podcast. Thank you guys very much. Remember to subscribe to the podcast, please. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, on to Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Check me out on Facebook. Look at my website, www.justcallitpodcast.com. Check me out. I'm selling art of all types. My email's there, so hit me up. Let me know what you guys think of the podcast and looking for guests and all that stuff. And I always appreciate you guys checking in. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day, motherfucker.